What if I told you there was a toilet that is so revolutionary that it can be called a smart toilet? HOROW has designed and built something that will transform your bathroom experience. I'm talking hands-free luxury that will up your bathroom experience and not break the bank. There are so many cool designs and features that you'll definitely want to wait around to see till the end of the video. Today though, we're giving this small bathroom a complete makeover. There is no way I'm installing this HOROW Smart Toilet in this old, boring bathroom. We are going to add a new electrical outlet for the toilet's power, paint the walls, put up stylish floating shelves, and decorate with a nautical theme. Let's get to work. First, I turned off the water supply using the valve at the base of the toilet. Flush the toilet to drain any water, then use a toilet plunger to remove any excess water in the bowl. Once the water is out, I disconnected the supply line and unscrewed the bolts at the toilet base. I then carefully lifted the toilet off the flange and set it aside. I know this can be a little bit on the yucky side, but as you can see, I'm wearing gloves to remove the old wax ring. It is important to get all the old wax ring removed from the toilet flange before the new toilet can be installed. Now it's time to refresh these walls. I started by patching any holes or imperfections with spackle. I used my finger to tap the area to give it some texture before it dries. I also applied painter's tape to protect the trim and the fixtures. I want to make sure the wood trim along the doors and baseboards are taped off to give them a nice, crisp look when I paint. Now it's time to get that fresh coat of paint on. I'm one of those cut in first and roll second type of painters. I want to make sure all of the corners of the walls against the taped edges and wall to ceilings are looking nice before I start rolling. Once the brushwork is complete, I grab my roller and get to work. I like to put on a nice thick coat of paint to the walls, rolling slowly and deliberately. This type of paint I am using is a great brand, so it goes on nice with some good coverage. 2 coats will definitely do the trick. After the paint dries, I can then remove all the tape I applied. A little trick I learned from painting hundreds of homes is to pull the tape at a 90-degree angle to the wall. This allows the tape to come off without pulling any paint with it. Last but not least, I need to put the plate covers back on. A simple and cool hack I learned is to write down the color and sheen of the paint on the inside of the cover. Dab on a little sample of the paint so that in the future, if you ever need to do any touch-ups, it'll be written down for you out of sight. Since the HOROW Smart Toilet requires a power source, we need to install a new electrical outlet to the side of the toilet. If you're not comfortable working with electricity, hey, don't worry. Just consider hiring a licensed electrician. I have installed many outlets as a contractor, so I didn't hesitate to give it a try. I use what is called an old workbox that has little tabs on it. I first mark the area to cut and then use an oscillator to cut along the lines. I then place the wiring through the box, pop it into place, then tighten it to the wall with an impact driver, being careful not to over tighten. I can then wire the outlet with my white or neutral wire to the silver screw and my hot or black wire to the brass screw. Once that is complete, I can then install it to the electrical box, put the new cover plate back on, giving that project a nice, clean finish. Last but not least, I hated the existing light, so I took it down and installed a new LED light that really increased the brightness of the room. I also added, real quick, some floating shelves on the back wall. Again, real easy to do. Just install the mounting brackets and slide the shelves on, adding the mounting screws underneath to keep them in place. Now it is time for the main event, installing my new HOROW Smart Toilet. The box comes with everything I need, including mounting floor brackets, wax ring, and a battery pack I'll show you later. There is a template that comes with the toilet for first-time installations, but since I have a metal toilet flange embedded in the floor, I'm going to reuse it. First, I need to install the mounting accessories. These 2 items go right over the bolts that are also included, and I secure them with some nuts. Next, I need to pull out the hoses from the back and set those to the side of the toilet. There is one hose for the flush water, that's the thicker one, and another for the clean water hose, which is a tad smaller. I also pulled out the battery wire. This battery is installed real easy by screwing it into the watertight connection. This gives me up to 200 flushes if the power ever goes out. Now it is time to put the smart toilet in place. I got out the wax ring that was included and placed it up under the toilet. I then carefully put the toilet in place. I definitely recommend getting some help in this area. After it is flush to the floor, I installed the 2 screws in the side and then popped on the decorative cap. Next, I needed to install the water lines. HOROW has you covered with an adaptive T-valve. Tighten both water lines onto the T-valve, both the fresh water and the flush water. Then install it onto your shutoff valve. Remember not to over tighten, but definitely make sure the hoses are sealed. And once on, just turn the valve and give it a supply of water, looking for any drips or leaks. With one last check, I've got the electrical cord plugged in, the water lines tightened, and the smart toilet in place. Do note that when you first turn on the water, the tank in the back fills up first. This is where the water is heated to a nice, warm temperature, which is one of the many options of this smart toilet. Once the HOROW Smart Toilet is installed, and before I demonstrate its amazing features, it's time to do the fun part, decorate. I'm going with a new theme and going nautical, so I've got some framed ocean prints, decorative anchors, and seashells to create a coastal vibe. Now it's time to demonstrate what this smart toilet can do. This thing not only looks good, but it has so many cool features. Let's start with the fact that it senses when you walk in the room. It has some cool emojis on the back, 4 to be precise, but this one's my favorite because it keeps giving me a wink. Now, as I enter the room, the lid comes right up. It is so hands-free because it senses your presence and allows you to work it without touching the toilet. The cool part is with the tap of your foot, you can also lift up the seat automatically. It also has an awesome nightlight, perfect for those late night trips to the bathroom. Are you feeling spoiled yet? I am, but we're just getting started. What would you say if I told you it has a heated seat? Have I got you sold? Now I want to demonstrate the wash features on this thing. First, there is a posterior wash, which is translation means the backside. You can choose between warm and cool water and also set your program temperature. I personally go with the warm, but that's just me. There is also feminine wash that is adjustable. Just go to your remote and change the nozzle position and water pressure for your liking. It also has the pre-wash feature, sensing when you sit down to give that bowl a swirl of water around the edges. Now, my all-time favorite is the dryer. Not just any dryer, a warm air dryer, the perfect way to top the experience. And last but not least, when you're all done, well, it knows. I don't know how it knows, but it knows. The seat actually comes down after use, which will end that age-old question, who left the seat up? I also love the ambient lighting, a form of art that sets the mood depending on the seasons, such as spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And there you have it. We've completely transformed this small bathroom with a new HOROW Smart Toilet. Fresh coat of paint, floating shelves, new light, and a nautical theme. Hey, if you've enjoyed this project, visit my friends over at HOROW by following the link in the description. This bathroom luxury is definitely not something you'll want to miss out on.